All right, so the starting lineups for Holmes will be Brooklyn Brown, Jada Hill, Carly Riley, and Aubrey Wilson. And for Holy Cross, it'll be Jai Johnson, Alyssa Arlinghouse, Avery Sturgeon. It'll also be Riley Eberhard. Almost missed Riley, the junior. And then, of course, Georgia Fisk, the team manager, suiting up as the only senior tonight. And we are underway. Welcome once again for TBNK Sports. Scott Borders along with Brian Blair. It is Holmes that gets the immediate layup after the opening tip. Credit number 4, London Scott, the freshman, with her first basket.
Lots of freshmen, lots of 8th graders for this Holmes team.
And then the runner missed on the other side. Loose ball rebound stays with Holy Cross. And we're going to have a jump ball that'll also stay with Holy Cross. So a little sloppy in the beginning for the Indians. And Holmes enjoying a 2-0 lead. Quick pass and a missed shot. Put back is up and in. Number 11, Riley Eberhard with the first baskets, averages 10 a game. It's 2-2, and the ball goes out of bounds. Will stay with Holmes.
Well, they were trying to get Georgia Fisk a basket. She took the shot, wasn't able to get it, but Eberhard there to clean it up. She's got to be nervous. You know, the manager out there getting a start.
And there's an errant shot right there by Brown, and coming back quickly is Holy Cross. That was Arlinghouse in the corner. Watch her from the three-point, 52 of them on the year, and that's not even the best. Sturgeon, number 4, has got 57 of them and is about a 40% three-point shooter. So this is a team that averages 7 a game, we said. They can flat fill it up in a zone defense, sort of a matchup zone from Holmes, and they get the steal.
Well, they are trying to get it to Fisk to get a basket.
So Holmes now on the attack, splitting 2 defenders and drawing a foul is number 4, London Scott.
I think they're going to get Eberhard for the foul, but that's twice that Scott has taken the initiative and just driven straight to the basket. Made the first one, got fouled on that one.
6:37 left to go first period, and it'll be a pair for London Scott, a 55% shooter. But, folks, that's one of the best on the team, and she misses. This is a team who only shoots 45%, not from beyond the arc, but from the foul line.
Now watch Fisk. She's way back here by herself. I don't think anybody for Holmes realizes it. If this is no good, well, see if they try to throw it deep to her. Nope, I thought they might.
Jai Johnson looked up and backed out and said, now just a little too much of a risk, and now they're going to set their offense. Well, I say it's a zone. They really are playing a man. They're just really laying off the perimeter a little bit. Little spacing. Here's a one-handed shot, no good, but the rebound again for Holy Cross. And that's something else. They average about 28 rebounds a game. Jai Johnson just bullies her way into the lane, puts it back up and in after the miss.
Well, exactly right. That's what she did. And she's just strong and she's quick. And you've got to be ready for that. And if you haven't seen that, if you haven't played against it, it can take a couple of possessions to get used to her strength and quickness.
And she does it very balanced, Brian.
Yes.
She has a way of keeping her body balanced, always squares up when she shoots. Errant shot and rebound. Holy Cross back on the attack. There's Johnson with it now. Three-pointer from Johnson, and the first one they take is good. How about her 48th three of the year? She's a 33% outside shooter. 5 points of her team's 7, and it's 7-3, Holy Cross.
You just can't leave her any space. I mean, she took advantage of it. Hand down, man down, as they say, and she buried it.
London Scott again picks up her dribble now. Finally does get rid of it. Jada Hill. Hill's going to try a long three-pointer. It is errant off the back iron, and here comes Johnson for Holy Cross.
Oh,
good pass, just a little out of the outstretched fingertips of Avery Sturgeon, and out of bounds. Number 5, Paige Arlinghouse, will come in, and she will take over for Georgia Fisk, who gets a big hand.
Got a timeout, too, by Holmes. Now, the question for me is going to be, when does Fisk, or does she get back in the game at some point tonight? I would think so.
You got to believe they're going to try to get her to that shot when the game maybe isn't as close as it happens to be at the moment, 7-3. But even then, it doesn't feel very close. It feels like really Holy Cross kind of dictating the tempo. Finally do get it out to Riley, and they'll reset. And there's a skip pass that was ill-advised, and it's going to be an easy layup on the other end for Alyssa Arlinghouse, her first basket. She averages about 13 a game. It is 9-3.
You just cannot throw those kind of passes against this defense. They're just too good to make those kind of throws.
On the block, well defended. Aubrey Wilson has to kick it back out to Scott. No look pass is knocked away. And here comes Arlinghouse again with the ball, quickly getting it down court to Johnson. Looks off the defender and puts in the layup. Did you notice that little look she gave, and it was just enough to freeze the defender. Big game for her so far, 7 points. And another steal. Boy, Arlinghouse seems to be the recipient of the careless dribbling, and now a three-pointer. Sturgeon is off, but Jay Johnson with the rebound hands it off underneath for the basket from Paige Arlinghouse.
I liked her unselfishness right there. She could have gone up with that herself, but saw that Paige Arlinghouse had the better look.
And here is another steal from Alyssa Arlinghouse and another layup. 2 layups for her and 4 points for the junior. 15-3 right now, and Holy Cross off and running. 3:35 left to play first period.
Good
Big
screen.
And it still ends up being a turnover the other way. Arlinghouse to Sturgeon. Sturgeon misses. Johnson keeps it alive, and Sturgeon cleans it up after a nice assist from Alyssa Arlinghouse. And 4 of the 5 are on the scoring column right now. Actually, 5 players in the scoring column for Holy Cross. It's 17-3. 3:08 left to play first period. There is another pass broken up. Jai Johnson in the open court lays it up and in. 9 points for her, already on the cusp of a double-digit scoring total, and now we have most likely, I think, what'll be
timeout.
A full timeout by Holmes with 2:47 left. And already, Brian, we were talking about this earlier in a different context, but we see how defense really, truly leads to offense.
Yeah, I mean, the Holy Cross defenders are just everywhere. If you're Holmes right now, it has to feel like there's 7 or 8 people out there on the floor. And you wonder if your other teams, if you practice like that against this team. But they're just solid all the way around. I mean, you talk about, who this team has that leads them. Jay Johnson, Alyssa Arlinghouse, Riley Eberhard. You go up and down this roster, and you get contributions from everybody, which is one of the reasons why I think this team is so tough to beat, because who do you stop? I mean, you stop Johnson, somebody else steps up. And they're really good, and I don't know how much we can, overstate that. And they're going to be a threat, obviously in their own district, but also in the 9th region tournament. I don't think you want to play them, especially not that first night.
I look over across the court. I didn't realize ESPN came down to do the game. I think that's the Holy Cross version of ESPN. But well done with the sign.
Yeah, the suits, they're better dressed than you and me, man.
I've got a hoodie on. You have nice equipment, too. We're going to go over there and... So it's 19-3. It will be Holmes basketball. And, boy, they almost get an unforced error there, but Jada Hill saves it. They need to get her going. And another ill-advised pass. They're really trying to force the pass instead of looking to see if it's open. They're running. You can tell they're running the set in practice, but they're not waiting till the player's open. Pass underneath and a kick out. They'll reset with Aubrey Wilson. Now Jayla Stevenson, number 1, into the game over to Jada Hill. Straight man for Holy Cross. They're just jumping the passing lanes almost every possession.
Did it again.
As if on cue. I think Jenna Pennington in the game got a hand on it. And there is a drive and a runner up and good for Paige Arlinghouse. 4 points now for the freshman Arlinghouse. There are Arlinghouses all over.
Well, you got Arlinghouses,
you have Kendall out
Saalfelds.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of people on this team that are related. It's a family affair here at Holy Cross.
Jalea Stevenson, and they are guarding her all the way out near the mid-court stripe. She does get rid of it. But, boy, they're not getting a lot of shots at the basket.
That was a good move.
One. It was. Aubrey Wilson with the good turn. Got the miss, but it looks like Holmes is going to get it back on the traveling violation. We have some subs coming in. Brooklyn Brown, number 3, back into the game, and London Scott, number 4.
You know, if you're Holmes, I mean, the idea behind this, I mean, you and I talked about it before the game. They're playing this small school schedule, and they're really trying to see kind of what they have.
Right.
And they're playing a lot of young kids, and the idea would be is that these kids stick around, and in 2 or 3 years, they're much improved, they're experienced. But the hard part about that is you take some lumps early on.
Do.
Good pass.
Kaylin Brooks, they get it underneath, and that was a basket for Jenna Pennington, so a 6 player on the board. And it is 23-3, a 20-point lead, and there's still over a minute left to go. And there's a tough shot by Brooklyn Brown, only the second player to score for Holmes. We're under a minute, it's 23-5.
Ooh. Almost forced to travel.
Kaylin kind of was going to telegraph the pass and stopped herself and then nearly traveled. Pennington, who just had the basket. There it comes. It could be a 7th player, but off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound comes out to Holmes, 40 seconds, and they lose the ball in transition.
Nice crossover dribble, and she had space, but when she went to put it back in her right hand, it just got away from her. But a good move that time.
And now Ava Pennington has checked into the game. Back into the game is Georgia Fisk. So now we got multiple Penningtons to keep track of. But Fisk, the 3-year manager, the current senior, out there trying to get a basket. Look, and you can tell she's really into the game right now as she sets up on the block. There's a drive and a pass into her way underneath. Now they triple team her. She gets it out, but it'll stay with Holy Cross.
Well, she got it, and I'm as a manager, you're not used to being double teamed, so she just threw it off the leg of one of the Holmes players out of bounds.
Good job keeping her ahead. And there's the lob in that's broken up as they tried to go to her again, but somehow Holy Cross ends up with it. Nola Broering. They're letting a lot of players play in this game. So there it is on the block. She puts up a tough shot. Did not quite go for her. And that is how we will end the first period. 23-5. Holy Cross with the big lead, and the crowd really getting into it for Georgia Fisk.
Well, when she took that shot, her eyes were kind of like, oh, man. Because one of the things she said, and by the way, a big props to Holy Cross for doing this media guide. But one thing that she put in here about, you know, the favorite part about playing for Coach Arlinghouse and being a manager is that she never gets yelled at, you know, as a manager. And I think after that shot, she might have thought something was coming. But
all right, well, Brian, here's the question. How many kids does Ted Arlinghouse have? We got the Arlinghouse boys. We have the Arlinghouse girls. I'm counting about 16 right now. There seems to be an Arlinghouse every year.
You got Arlinghouse. You have... let's see, you've got Saalfeld on this team. Pennington. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a family affair over here. You know, we talked about this a little bit before the game, and when you look at this Holmes program, I mean, they didn't play a district schedule last year, so they're really coming back, and for a lot of these kids, I mean, this is their first time playing in real games. I mean, now they've been doing it all season, obviously.
And they have one senior, Jada Hill, and the rest underclassmen. Now, Holy Cross doesn't have any seniors.
Right.
But still, it's a young, and this is where you're really throwing them to the fire.
Yeah.
They've got 9 wins this year. I think that's impressive for the age of this team and the fact that they haven't played together a lot. But right here, just completely outgunned. And now Jay Johnson ties it up and forces the jump ball, which should go over to Holmes.
Well, the good thing that they've done this year as a program, if you're Holmes, they've beaten the people they're supposed to beat.
Right.
So you've had some losses where you've gotten beat pretty bad. But I think you kind of thought that was going to happen. But they played some teams that they are better than, and they beat them.
Now they did drop back in a zone, so we'll see if Sturgeon gets a
got
look.
a chance.
But underneath on the block, she has not quite been close yet, but stepped out of bounds trying to save it. That ball normally goes left wing to Sturgeon. They were trying to get Fisk her basket.
You know, I think that ball might have gotten deflected. I don't know that she had to save that. I thought it got partially blocked. Well, this place will go wild if she scores. They may storm the court.
Well, we got ESPN here.
Nice take.
All the way to the basket, good, and London Scott draws the foul, and I think they forgot to tell her they're supposed to get blown out in this game. 5 points, a chance to make it 6 from the line. Her team only has 7.
She's shown some aggressiveness tonight
Yes,
from the
she
very
has.
first play of the game, going to the basket.
She misses the shot, and the rebound was initially with Holmes, but falling with the basketball, and it's a travel.
Well, she jumped and caught it, but her momentum took her backwards, and so when she landed, she hit the deck. She was there.
Jay Johnson approaching 1 minute gone here in the second period, 23-7 now. Holy Cross is yet to score in the period.
Oh,
And there was a skip pass that got intercepted by Holmes and stolen right back. Arlinghouse has been all over with the steals, and she's had a truckload of assists. Now we're going to stop play for an injury. That was Sturgeon that got the basket. No, I'm sorry, that wasn't. Who got the basket on that, Brian? I believe it was 11, Riley Eberhard. And then we have a player in a lot of pain.
got 2 players down, actually.
So one was kind of away from the play, and I believe that is number 3, Brooklyn Brown. And then we have a player on the baseline, and it looks like she is holding the lower part of her leg around her knee. And you don't like speculating. They're going to carry one off the court, but you could audibly hear she was in pain from up where we are. We, of course, sit high atop mid-court here at Holy Cross, one of our favorite gyms. Always, by the way, treated so well from the Holy Cross staff. Always have been. Thank you for once again putting on great game days. We certainly, hopes and prayers go out for this young lady.
Well, you talk about the Holmes program and what they're trying to get back to. I'd kind of forgotten about this a little bit, but you go back to 2002 when Erica Hallman from Holmes won Miss Kentucky basketball.
Yeah.
Went on to play collegiately at Kansas.
This was a hotbed for basketball for many years, and probably the only thing that keeps it from that right now is consistency, whether it be with the staff or what. But this, and I was talking to you, here you have Ricardo Johnson, the head coach of the boys team, and they are doing fantastic this year. They're playing in one of the toughest regions in the state, but doing a great job, and he is a Holmes alum.
Well, Zuri Hill, the head coach at Holmes, played at Holmes, actually finished her career at Boone County and played with Sydney Moss, who was a Miss Kentucky basketball. Nice play there.
Nice pass. They can't make it work. And now the three-pointer. No. That would have been the first basket for Jada Hill, and here comes Holy Cross. Once again, they're going to come down and look for Fisk every time.
Well, the officials are being nice to her because she's been in the lane more than 3 seconds a couple of times, but they haven't called it. There you go.
Rolls down to the block.
There you go.
And Everhard got it to her, and Holmes said, That
was Carly Riley who said, not on my watch. Are you going to get a bucket, young lady?
Throwing it in from underneath their own basket. 5:48 to play before halftime. They get it to her. She got fouled. I believe London Scott got whistled, but legit got her on the wrist, and Georgia Fisk is going to try her first high school free throw, and a little bit of a pressure cooker. We're going to let her do it.
Got it.
Got it! Name gets in the score sheet. Big, big applause from the crowd.
Does she make the second one now?
No pressure now.
Look at that. I didn't know if she'd be so jacked up after making the first one
and they were no doubters.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nothing but net both times, like she's been shooting. Brian, I struggled from the foul line when I was that age. I think I hit more from the outside than I did from the 15-foot stripe.
As a former ESPN SportsCenter anchor used to say, she was as cool as the other side of the pillow right there.
Stuart Scott, the name.
One of the best.
One of the best, the late Stuart Scott. Of course, we lost Robert Duvall.
Yeah, saw that.
In Hollywood, one of my favorite actors. I think his best role was The Great Santini. I'm sure people will argue with that.
Look at that.
Look at that. Once again, her third opportunity in an and one for London Scott. Hats off to that young lady. London Scott, just a freshman, and she has come to play tonight. She's not letting anything stop her from attacking the basket.
No fear. I mean, that's what I like about it, is she's not intimidated at all.
Got it.
Good-looking free throw stroke right there.
Missed her first two, but hits that. It's 27-10. Holy Cross the lead in the ball. Almost 3 minutes gone in the second period. Three-pointer on the way is off. No good by Arlinghouse, but the rebound to Sturgeon of Holy Cross. She gets it back. She's going to try a rain-making three.
Oh,
that
nice
one's
tip.
off, but the tip, the putback, no good. Fight for it on the floor, and they're going to call a jump ball.
She almost got the hockey assist right there. Did Alyssa Arlinghouse.
One-timer.
She tapped it over to her teammate who couldn't quite finish.
I don't get any credit for the one.
No, that was good. No, that was good. USA versus Canada Sunday morning for the gold.
And the women had it the other night, and the American women rallied from 1-0 down, put it in overtime, and then the team captain gets the goal.
Buckets
and there's a three.
in overtime.
Jada Hill. Now it's 27-13, and while 14 points isn't exactly close, tell you that's a respectable first half. Now Sturgeon says, let me see if I can match that, and does. Three-pointer for Avery Sturgeon, 58 of them on the year. Now they trap at half court. You kind of get the impression they didn't like that three-pointer, and they're coming with a little more energy on this possession.
Well, and I think now that Fisk got her points, you wonder if this team's really going to pick it up. I think they weren't quite focused, early on because of what they were doing, and that's awesome that they were doing it. And now they've kind of turned it up.
Arlinghouse gets foul off the miss from Jay Johnson, who was trying to break into double digits in this game, but Arlinghouse will go to the line. She is only an 86% foul shooter. This is a team that shoots 68% from the line. They're also a 35% three-point shooting team. Easily gets the free throw. Jayla Stevenson checks back into the game for Holmes. 3:58 to play before halftime. Got them both. 6 points for Arlinghouse. They're going to have Sturgeon applying backcourt pressure. They got two players at midcourt, and they set up the trap. Johnson gets the steal, takes it back, lays it up and in. 11 points for her. First basket of the second period. It's 34-13, and they almost got another one, and the late whistle.
Well, on the previous play, Johnson kind of baited the Holmes player into spinning a certain way. She knew she was going to spin to her left, and Johnson was just there to pick it up and take it in.
What they're doing is they're bringing Sturgeon way back, and here's a steal in open court. Arlinghouse lays it in. Now watch, for the pressure, they'll have one deep, two waiting at the foul line for the trap.
Here it comes.
Almost got a steal, but a good job this time. And from the corner, a three is no good, but knocked out of bounds. We'll go right back over to Holmes with 3:21 left to score. Now 36-13. Number 22, Destiny Rudolph, another freshman, checks into the game. You look at up and down their lineup. Freshman, 8th grader,
Yep.
junior, 8th grader, senior, freshman, 8th grader, freshman. Missed shot there. Johnson with the rebound. Quickly down court. Arlinghouse, little stutter step layup.
That was nice.
You don't see that very often. Good heads-up play.
That's just somebody who's played a lot of basketball
Yep.
and watched a lot of basketball.
We're going to have a foul away from the ball that I think is going to go against Holy Cross.
Got a whole plethora of subs coming in here. Hang on.
Eberhard was the recipient. We're going to bring in Lacey Hunt. Wow.
I told you.
Have to keep up. Pennington's back in. Both Penningtons are back in. That's Ava and Jenna. There's another shot off the backboard, no good. And the rebound to Brooke Sawfield, number 34, who is into the game. Going to let some of these players get some time here at the end of the half. They're a pretty deep bench as it is. Ava Pennington over to Lacey Hunt in the corner. That's Kaylin Bowens, number 24, with the big knee brace on her right knee.
Of course, that Hunt name really prevalent around here at Holy Cross. Julia Hunt, an outstanding basketball and volleyball player.
Lacey with the ball now as they got the rebound on the air ball three. 2:13 left and a foul as Bowens, number 24, had good position on the block, and Destiny Rudolph tried to go through her.
Julia Hunt won both a volleyball state tournament and a basketball state championship at the A level. She's playing collegiate volleyball, I believe, at the University of Washington right now.
Great player.
Yes. I mean, both. Could have played basketball in college, too, if she wanted.
Yep. All right, work it back to the top of the key. 1:50 left to play. They're not exactly slowing it down. They're just trying to work the offense. You can tell they don't get a chance to come out in game situations, this unit, that is. And so they're trying to get a feel for it right now. Hunt,
Nice cut.
Good feed and a great cut. Little hard on the shot, and then Bowens with the rebound gets fouled.
You know, one of the things that where I teach at Owen County, doing and watching a lot of their games, one of the things that good teams you have to have is you need that 6th or 7th player who can come in on any given night and play well in a tournament. Somebody gets into foul trouble. Maybe, heaven forbid, somebody gets hurt, and you need that player to be ready to go, the whole next man up kind of idea. And so it's good that some of these young ladies can get some experience like this, because you never know when you're going to need one of them in a big game.
Almost uniformly, teams that win tournaments have deep benches. There's a steal coming back the other way as Nola Broering checked in at the break.
Who thought?
There's a three-pointer. No good this time. London Scott on the miss, 39-13.
I actually thought Hill should have just gone on up and shot that instead of passing it to her teammate. I thought she was open.
Nola Broering had it there, and it's taken away by the senior Jada Hill. She goes coast to coast and missed the shot. And they're bringing it back the other way. Bowens, now they kick it back out. Good look at a three. No good. Ava Pennington.
I heard Coach Arlinghouse yell, shoot the ball. And I think some of these girls are being a little too
tentative.
Unselfish. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing right as he said it. Somebody just shoot. If you're open, let it go. I mean, not every time.
I think the tendency is to run the system the way you were taught in practice.
Yes.
Whereas the experienced players know every now and then you could break off the coach's instruction as a travel there. But you break off a little bit when you see a lane or whatever. I think they're kind of stuck in the in their places they practice and are not really wanting to venture out of that hole.
I watched our girls practice yesterday. I watched the Owen County girls practice. They're playing at St. Henry tonight, and one of our girls who never shoots three in practice made three in a row or in a game. And I said, girl, why don't you do that in a game? She goes, Coach would kill me. I'm like, not if you made them.
Brooke Sawfield gets in the scoring column with her first basket and gets the steal and now overthrows, trying to get the run out, but another steal by Bowens, and they have numbers, but she loses it.
Gonna have to shoot.
It's 3 on the clock, 2. The three-pointer goes up, partially blocked, and that is how the half is gonna end. 41-13, Holy Cross with the lead at halftime. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for the second half as we continue with TBNK Sports.
We've all been here before. Another night of channel surfing, scrolling with nothing catching your eye.
And it's gonna be a cold one today, folks.
Until almost like something wants to reach out and grab you. And as long as you didn't invest in a haunted piece of land, that thing is TBNK, or the Telecommunications Board of Northern Kentucky. With a focus on local Kenton County government, TBNK is committed to helping its viewers stay up to date on everything that matters most to them. With live coverage of your local city council and commission meetings, sports from multiple high schools across Kenton County,
Kelch off the screen, knocks down the three.
and even the occasional fender bender, there's a little something for everyone. Whether it's the next big election, or just the yearly tree lighting, TBNK is the place to watch your community grow. And don't forget about the resources available to our Kenton County residents at no extra charge, including our podcast studio and public use cameras, so you can begin creating right here in your own backyard.
We don't want to watch TV. Kids.
That's right, it's not 1999 anymore. TBNK goes where you go. From our multiple channels across the Ulta Fiber and Spectrum TV networks, to your favorite web browser, and even your phone with our free TBNK To Go app, staying connected has never been easier. Did I mention we're on Roku?
Can you hurry up so we can start watching?
Okay, I think you get the picture. So, what are you waiting for? Visit tbnk.org to learn more and start staying up to date in your neighborhood today.
Hello and welcome back to Holy Cross High School, where it is halftime and the score 41-13 right now. Holy Cross leading Holmes in this crosstown shootout of Covington as they come over right now. Right as it is, Holy Cross looking for their 25th win of the season. This will be their last game of the year. Holmes still has a game to play. We're going to go over the scoring at halftime of the game so far. First for Holmes, they were led in scoring by London Scott, who showed no fear, had 8 points. Jada Hill, the senior, added 3, 2 points from Brooklyn Brown, Destiny Rudolph, Aubrey Wilson, Carly Riley, Jalea Stevenson. All of those players played. They failed to score. For Holy Cross, led in scoring by Jay Johnson with 11 points, 10 from Alyssa Arlinghouse, the only 2 players in double figures. Avery Sturgeon with 5, 4 from Paige Arlinghouse, 4 from Riley Eberhard, 2 from Jenna Pennington, 2 from Georgia Fisk, the senior. Kaylin Brown added 1. Brooks Sawfield added 2. And that rounds out the scoring. We are underway in the second half. Scott Borders along with Brian Blair. And normally I ask what the team behind has to do to come back.
Well, do that.
Do that. Get some steals. I hear you. Stealing all the way back down, missing the shot. And the officials don't know who it's out of bounds on. It'll go back over to Holy Cross. 15 seconds in. our final game of the 25-26 campaign. Saw some interesting games this year. 3-pointer by Sturgeon, no good. And Brian and I will look as another basket taken by Georgia Fisk, who got her own rebound. Holmes, though, clears it. We were talking earlier. We're going to try to check out some of the 9th region tournament. We saw, was it the 8th region last year? We're going to try to check out some 9th region tournament action. And Brian and I will cover different parts, we're hoping, of the state tournament.
Looking forward to it. The ninth region tournament, you know what I talked about before the game. It feels like it's Covington Catholic and then everybody else.
We've said that before.
Yes.
Even with Covington Catholic, as you see Sturgeon, her second 3 of the game, and that starts the scoring here in the second half.
Well, really, if you go back a few years, Cooper is obviously won a couple of times now, and they've been a good basketball team. But I feel like a couple of those years, CovCath had chances and lost kind of unexpectedly a couple times in the 9th region tournament. But I would be hard-pressed to think they would do that again.
One issue that the 9th region has, and it seems like it's something like this every year, when the winner goes to the state tournament, they're going to have to play the 7th region, which is the Louisville region, essentially. It's one of 2, but it's the one with, you've got schools like St. X, who right now looks every bit the team they did last year, if not better, but they lost in the first round last year, so obviously they can be beat. As Arlinghouse's 3 is in or out. And, you have some other schools in Region 7, but that's a tough draw for the first game.
First game of the tournament. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I mean, it's the first game literally on Wednesday at 11 a.m. It's going to be a great game. Looking forward to it, hoping to be there. But, yeah, I mean, and CovCath's only loss this year is to Male.
Right.
I mean, that's their only loss. They're playing a good one tonight. They're playing Madison Central tonight with Jake Feldhouse, a candidate for Mr. Basketball, and that game is in Richmond.
That is the alma mater of my daughter-in-law.
There you go.
I should have known that earlier. Skip
Nice pass.
Open look at a 3, Arlinghouse. This one's long, but the rebound Sturgeon. They'll reset. There's, I think, inside. No, they are calling that a 3 from Johnson.
It was a 3. That's just good form. I mean,
her second 3.
She gets her feet set, and you don't get a hand in her face. She's deadly out there. And confident, too. You like that out of your point guard.
So it is starting to be a runaway right now, 49-13. 36-point lead.
But you look on the girls' side of things, this Holy Cross team has the best record, 24-4, soon to be 25-4. But there's a lot of good teams. I mean, you already mentioned Notre Dame. You got Cooper, Ryle, Highlands is a very good team. So it's wide open on the girls' side of things.
Timeout taken by Holmes, 51-13, 4:45 left. You're right, Brian. I think on that side too, it's always competitive in these games. And like I said, Holy Cross is going to have a tough time just in their own district. Now they should make the regional tournament because your runner-up and your winner do, but Notre Dame always proves tough, has beaten them one time in overtime already.
And obviously you lose your district tournament game, you play a winner first round of the region.
Right.
And you obviously would like to avoid that at all costs. I mean, you don't want to have to play a Cooper or a Highlands or a Ryle first game. You'd like to, and not that the losers are bad teams, I don't mean that, but you're going to play somebody tough right out of the chute. And that I think has been a little bit of Holy Cross's downfall in the 9th region tournament before, is because Notre Dame beats them in the district tournament.
Now there is a young freshman who's starting to get some looks out of North Oldham.
Yeah.
You might be familiar with him. The last name of Rondo is really starting to turn heads. He was on the roster last year.
Was hurt
by the end of the year, so we didn't get to see him.
He's an 8th grader, actually.
8th grader, that's right.
Yeah,
he's not even technically a high school
He's
kid.
an 8th grader.
Already playing like a man among boys.
Oh!
What a tough drive, and none other than number 4 for Holmes, London Scott. She has done it all game. This is her third trip with an and one opportunity.
I have not seen him play this year. They were supposed to come to Owen County and play a couple weeks ago, but with all the snow and district games that got canceled, that game had to be taken off the schedule and replaced with a district game. But they're a good team. I mean, Walden Verona is a good basketball team in the 8th region, right there in Boone County. But North Oldham beat them by 20.
Yeah.
And it was,
not that close.
No. They beat St. X when they were ranked number 1. They've had a couple of weird losses in there. But, yeah, they're a good team, and they've got to be the favorite in the 8th region. But I don't want to leave out Simon Kenton's boys. Simon Kenton's boys, their record is not fantastic. It's 14-10. But they play a tough schedule up here in the 9th region.
Yes, they do.
So their record's probably a little bit deceiving.
In the last few years, they have done well in the tournament. So you always got to factor them in. This is Bridget Fitzgerald, who's only been to the line a couple of times, and now on the season 3 of 4 if she hit 1 or 2 there. 52-16, her first points in the game. Holmes with the drive, 15-footer, no good. Rebound loose on the floor, right back to Holmes. Put up the three-pointer, no good. Fitzgerald with the rebound for Holy Cross. Dribbling 1-on-3 is never
Let it go. Yeah.
a good idea, and she almost got burned because of it, but it was knocked out of bounds by Holmes.
Yeah, and on the 8th region side of the girls, you got to talk about Simon Kenton. I was told by our girls coach at Owen County, Amy Wesselman, she said, it's Simon Kenton in the 8th, and then there's everybody else.
Yeah.
And they're a legitimate contender to win the whole thing.
A lot of people think they will. Of course,
they're number 1 in the state in max preps right now.
They have their old coach, the father of their most recent coach, back.
Good pass, good look ahead.
There's Fitzgerald coming off the 7th grader. She gets 3 points. You can tell she plays a little ball. She's going to be somebody to watch here at Holy Cross.
Well, and that's the thing about this Holy Cross team. They're not going anywhere. Look at that. Oh, I thought she was going to do it again.
It was close. The foul is going to go against Ava Pennington, number 21, and right back to the line already with 11 points. And just a fantastic personal effort for London Scott, the freshman, showing she plans on staying around a little bit.
Well, that's what you need at Holmes. You need kids like this who, as soon as this season's over, you get them working for next year. Play summer ball, you get in the weight room a little bit. And that's the thing, like you said, with these Holy Cross kids and a lot of these kids around the region who are so good, is they're playing all year long.
Yeah.
The season never really ends. No, I don't know how many of these kids for Holmes, play softball. And if that's the case, go play.
Well, in this day and age, there's really a push to get these kids now to commit to a sport as much as anything. The days of 3-sport players in high school are fast dwindling. Now, we still see a lot of 2-sport athletes.
Which I understand to a point, but I also think there's something to playing multiple sports and just having those high school experiences. No way! I thought...
Another foul drawn, this time by Jada Hill, who had the coast-to-coast run out after the steal, and she will go to the line. I said this is not a good foul shooting team. Hill, 41%. As a team, they shoot 45%. If it wasn't for London Scott tonight, they would really be struggling from the foul line even tonight. And that's because London Scott's been the only player on the foul line until now.
That's good-looking form. Both of them were good-looking free throws. Made 1 of 2.
54-19. The clock runs during dead balls except shooting fouls or 1-and-1s.
Oh.
Pass in the corner goes out of bounds. So Holy Cross a little sloppy here at the end of the third period. So I kind of like the way Arlinghouse is doing this. He's ending each period with a group of substitutes. And, in fact, I see a number 13 out there, Piper Hagley, making an appearance. So he's kind of ending them with substitutes who, are not quite as crisp as the starters, obviously, but then gets the starters back in to make a run at the beginning as you see another foul, and now the clock does continue to roll despite it going to the foul line.
It's another hockey
Platoon.
reference. Line change.
Platoon substituting line change.
Line change.
That will include Georgia Fisk, who wears number 42. Studying forensic science at NKU next year. That sounds creepy. Best of luck to her.
We were talking the other day at our school. We have some kids who are getting into that cyber security. That stuff sounds
really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Good D right there.
And you and I are just trying to figure out how to do podcasts at home. And
I'm trying to learn how to use Instagram. I'm like, hey, what do
I've stayed away from Instagram, and I think my kids love that because they don't have to worry about me seeing what they post on Instagram.
Well, I have to tell my kids, because I have my own little TikTok channel, but I have to tell my kids, like,
you have a very good TikTok
channel. How do I post this? Like, how do I edit this? And my daughter, my young middle daughter, is that a push off? Yeah, I thought so.
She did.
But my middle daughter, who will graduate from high school in a couple of months, she gets so irritated with me. Dad, if you're going to have it, know how to use it.
Wow, that's rough. I just don't use it. There you go.
That'll do it for the third.
So all over for the third. You'll see a running clock back in the fourth. 54-19 is the score. Of course, Holy Cross has outscored Holmes in every period. 23-5 at the end of one, 18-8 at the end of the second period, 41-13 at the break, and they won this one 13-6. And then we'll have another running clock for the fourth period, and we expect to get this game going. Good to get an opportunity to see Holy Cross right before they go into district play, so it's always fun. And, of course, a lot of this now in the fourth period is going to become about keeping players healthy and, like you said, getting some quality minutes for their players. Again, in the state of Kentucky, everybody participates in the district tournaments, so you always have a shot.
One of the few states in the country. I know a couple years ago there were 3 that did an all-state tournament, no classes.
I don't know if there still are.
I think Minnesota was one of them, and maybe they're not anymore, and maybe like North Dakota or somewhere. But, yeah, there's not many that do it.
I'm the traditionalist. I hope it never happens in the state of Kentucky, although I suspect the bigger certain metropolitan area schools get, you almost see it coming eventually. But for now, it's one of the best state tournaments in the country because of it. The Sweet 16. You have 16 regions.
You just get some awesome stories this time of the year.
Yes, you do.
And that, I think that's the part of it that, how can you not be romantic about basketball? And you go back.
And you get the Hoosiers type of school in the state of Kentucky every now and then. I'll never forget in the 80s when it was Richie Farmer and Clay County, who might have been a little better than we all thought anyway.
Well, a few years ago, you had Shelby Valley.
Shelby Valley with Elijah Justice. I remember him being the MVP.
They beat Ballard, not Ballard. Was it Ballard in the final or PRP? Or they beat a big Louisville school in the final.
They did.
I can't remember which one.
It may have been Ballard. I don't remember.
I thought you would know that.
If it was Ballard, I probably would. I thought it was Trinity, actually, they beat. But I honestly don't. Yes, I don't remember.
Elijah Justice was a player.
I remember that. Do I get a little credit there?
Yeah, that's good.
He actually played for the University of Louisville in college for a couple of years before transferring. Was an excellent shooter.
Jada Hill, speaking of good shooters, when she gets time and her feet set, she's a pretty good shooter.
Yep. Another high arching shot she has, too.
I like her game, and like you said, I think London Scott's played well tonight.
Well, there are pieces in place that you could certainly build on as you see a great take right there from Lacey Hunt to get her first basket of the game, and she'll have a chance to make it a 3-point play.
Did Elijah Justice go to Western?
I thought it was Cumberland that he transferred to, and he may have, and in this day of transferring anywhere, it's no telling if he ended up there, but he definitely went smaller.
Kids go so many, like you said, it's crazy, the transfer portal, and they were talking about it the other night on whatever program I was listening to, that here in a couple weeks when the season's over in the college game, that's when the transfer portal is going to open up.
Well, look what happened in football. Even before the championship was played, it was a mad scramble, and both Kentucky and Louisville out there figuring out who's going to be their quarterback next year, because how many teams play freshman quarterbacks anymore?
Oh.
Tie up underneath. Don't want it to get chippy. 5:55 left to play. 58-22, and that's where we could talk now. I'm a Louisville guy in basketball and football. You're a Kentucky guy. How are we feeling about our respective teams right now?
I've said this all year, and will the real Kentucky basketball team please stand up? I mean, who are they? They've had stretches where they've looked really good. They beat Tennessee there.
Twice,
they had a couple of good wins in a row, and then you lose at home to Georgia the other night, kind of inexplicable. I don't know. I think they could get to the Sweet 16. I think that's about their ceiling, but they could lose in the first round.
Did you see the Georgia fans who had their sign that said Sports Center? The ESPN sign over here is better than that. And that just shows they haven't had the opportunity to be on basketball camera. Certainly a great football program, but that was a swing and a miss. Nevertheless, and then Louisville the same night drops a game to SMU because, frankly, they just didn't defend.
Well, yeah.
And they've had their struggles on the defensive side all season long. And these are little things in games that become big things in the tournament. And, in March, you're not exactly going to have time to correct a lot of that.
No. You have one bad night, you're done. And it's not a 4 out of 7 game, 3 out of 5 game series.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like, well, I'm not going to say a lot. Several people I have heard comment before, Jay Billis, who's one of my favorite sports announcers, is one of them, that it may not be the best way to find the national champion, because any coach will tell you luck is involved. There has to be.
Yeah.
Now, you might say normally you get 4 pretty skilled teams in the Final Four, but let's be honest, there is some luck involved to even get there, as almost every team in the Final Four has one close game getting in there.
Yeah. You go back to 1985. You and I are old enough for that. Georgetown, Villanova.
Yep.
They play that 7 games. Georgetown might win in 5.
It might blow them out.
Yeah. But that one night, Villanova.
In the season.
Yeah.
That one night, Villanova. Look at the three-pointer there. Charlie Ankenbauer gets the 3.
Banks stayed open late tonight.
40-point lead, but you're right. That's a Villanova team that shot, 62% from the field.
Yeah.
And beat Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
We both have that memory
the defending
of 85.
national champs.
The defending national champs from the prior year.
Well, I think you look at obviously different, but you look at baseball and college softball. They played 2 out of 3 game series. They're the College World Series, and that is a 2-game elimination.
And but it's a legit way to find a champion.
I'm not saying that they should play a 2 out of 3 game series with the national champ, because it's the best tournament there is. But I would agree that I don't know that the best team always wins.
Correct.
And I'm okay with that, I think.
I don't want to see it expand. And, boy, every talking head that's in charge seems to want this tournament to get even bigger.
I don't.
And I absolutely don't. And they said about 83% of college basketball fans polled absolutely don't want it to get bigger. At some point, don't you have to listen to your fans?
Not when there's money involved.
Well, I mean, that's what it comes down to, obviously. I still don't see the purpose of conference tournaments anymore. I really don't.
Woo-hoo, nice move.
Almost
Couldn't finish,
got it
but
to go.
That was nice.
Tell you, for a 7th grader, she's awful slick with the basketball. I think they're going to like her in years to come. 3-pointer on the way. That one's off.
Tell you what, give that kid a lot of credit. Brooklyn Brown, she got hurt early in the second quarter when the other young lady got hurt.
Yeah.
She's out there limping around, but she's going. And I give her a lot of credit. It'd be easy to clock out tonight and say, you know what, I'm done. I got a cramp. Oh, my bad. Shot taken at
Peterson. Yeah.
My bad.
That's been a little bit of a contention as you
Can she
see
get a field
wide
goal?
open. Oh, you got to make that.
Oh.
They're going to put her on the line. That looked like a lot of ball, Brian. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Okay, but now she has the chance. She's 100% for her career
That's correct.
at the free throw line.
Can
She's-
finish her career at 100%.
She's 0% for her career from the field. Hey!
She's got the shot. I'm telling you. Brian, I'm going to go on the limb. She's making this. No kiss of death here. She's making this. I'm going to go ahead and mark it down. I mark a little X for made free throws, and I'm just going to mark that down.
Wouldn't want to play her in horse from the free throw
I'm
line.
telling you, she's calling the shot. There it is.
Oh,
And there's
you
the miss.
announcer
I did it.
jinxed her.
I did it.
Oh, they had her in the lane for a
And then a 3-pointer taken
That-
by Ava Pennington.
that might be the most casual 3-point
Yeah.
shot I've ever seen.
I mean, Holmes is spent, but I have enjoyed watching number 4. She just missed that shot as it bounced on the top of the backboard. But she goes in. She can't be 90 pounds. And she goes in with reckless abandon. As we're going to get a bunch.
Ava
other
Pennington
substitutes.
caught that 3, though, let it go. It went in, and she just turned around and walked the other way back like, hey, I knew it was going in.
Anticlimactic. And she knew it all along. Yeah.
Nice
oh,
cut,
nice
nice
back
pass.
cut. Got her own rebound, this Fitzgerald. Missed it again, and Holmes fights away and gets right back to Holy Cross. $1:18 left. They're still playing hard, the players that are out there. Scoop shot, no good. Holmes on the attack.
Tell you what, I love to come watch a Holy Cross practice. I
Yeah.
mean, oh, the wedgie.
Now, I see 2 officials over the age of 50.
They can't
looks
get
like.
it.
They're not going to jump up and get it. I don't see the girl
Well,
out
they
there
get it
that's
in the
gonna
next
jump up and
minute
get it.
before this game's supposed to end.
So the clock is running.
This is like a soccer match now. The clock
Now, I
is
saw
running.
a couple of coaches on the side I feel like could jump up and get that. And you know what they're thinking? They're thinking, but what if I jump up and miss in front of all these people? So
Well, I would be thinking, what if I jump up and come down and blow out my ACL?
there was a time
Or my-
I could pull myself up on the net and actually get the rim, and I won a few bets that way. I don't think I could do that anymore.
I'm not even sure I could touch the net anymore without hurting
That's
myself.
a hard reality, isn't it?
Yeah,
At some point, you just hit the wall.
good defense.
And she got it right back, drew the foul, and that
that's-
might be it. See if they'll give her a.
Yeah, I said I went to bed the other day feeling young, and I woke up old, like all of a sudden. Everything
really
hurts,
does.
and I didn't do anything.
I don't remember the last time I played in a competitive basketball game. You know, I mean, it's that kind of thing. You just
I don't know the last time I did anything competitive.
golf. You did play
Yeah,
golf.
but that's, I mean, I was hardly running up and down a floor.
That is.
I was
the
riding a cart.
That is the blissful final score, 66-23. And once again, Holmes will drop to 9-11. Holy Cross wins their 25th of the year. And, Brian, we're going to close out this year, so hopefully we will be back and doing things in basketball. Look forward. Brian and I will come in for some podcast action, hopefully maybe to preview the 9th region, and then we're going to try to preview the state tournament like we did last year when we have an idea of everybody playing in it, and we'll be watching that for you. We have a couple other things in the hopper. So thank you once again for staying with us all season. Again, the final here from Holy Cross, 66-23 for Brian Blair. This has been Scott Borders saying so long from Holy Cross.